Hello everyone, I'm called K-Pizza and today I'd like to show you some very simple drum beat patterns. This is going to be for people who are starting out or are new to the genre. And I'd like to play you the beat that we're going to make today, so hear this. It's a very basic beat, and if you've got any questions, leave them in the comments and we'll be happy to help you out. First of all, just grab our free sample pack for the sounds that we're going to be using. It's in our free downloads page under the name Start an Ableton Trap Drum Beat. So just get that sample pack and you'll be good to go, and open up Ableton and follow my steps and let me open up a new project and we'll start recreating this beat. So this is what Ableton looks like when you first open it up. This view is called Session View, and I actually have a tutorial where I'm making a trap beat in Session View. For this tutorial we're going to switch to Arrangement View, and we're going to do that by pressing Tab. And this is the horizontal view where mostly the production part of music making happens. And just make sure to click Tab key to go into this view. Okay, so now we see 4 tracks. 2 of them are MIDI tracks and 2 of them are audio tracks. In this tutorial we're going to be using only MIDI tracks, so you can go ahead and delete the audio tracks straight away. Hold Shift, click on both and press Delete or Backspace on a Windows machine. Now make sure you have the first track selected by clicking the first MIDI track, and go to our free download with samples and drag the kick sample in here. It says drop an instrumental sample here, and this is the place where we need to drop some sounds to make a drum beat. Now you can see the sample placed at the bottom of the screen. So this will load up the sample into a device called Simpler. This is called a Simpler. And just bear in mind that I'm using Ableton 9.5 because in previous versions it will look a little bit different. Okay, so before we form a kick pattern, let's quickly set up the tempo of our track to 70 BPM. Here you can find the BPM of our track, and it's by default 120. So just click here and press 70, type it in, click enter, and it should set the tempo of 70. Now let's zoom in at some of our first bars in the track, and this is done by hovering your mouse over this area, and your mouse will turn into a magnifying glass. And now we can click this area and drag your mouse down and you'll zoom in. This is the area that we're going to be working with. Now we're going to add a blank clip onto our track so that we can make a simple drum pattern. So select the half of the first bar like this on the kick track. Click in the upper area of the selection and click Insert MIDI Clip. That will insert a blank clip for us so that we can insert some kick drum patterns. Now to make a pattern, let's click this clip that we've inserted and click Shift and Tab. And that will take you to the second view in Ableton, which is called Clip View. And to go into the clip view, you need to have a clip selected. If you don't have it selected, it will say no clip selected. But anyways, back to our clip. If you press Shift Tab, then we'll go into the clip view. Now what you need to do is you need to add 2 C3 notes here. So just double click at this little box right here. You'll hear a kick sample. Also, you need to click at 1.1.4. This is where you need to click. The reason why we are playing C3 notes is because the higher the note on the keyboard we are playing, the higher the pitch of the sound will be. So we don't want the kick to be pitched up or down, we just want the default pitch of our sample. So that's why we are inserting C3 notes, because it's the default pitch of any sample we put into Ableton. Now that we have a kick, let's go back to the arrangement view by clicking Shift Tab once again. Now we can extend this clip like this. Just extend it until the end of the first bar and you'll be good to go. If you click at the beginning of the track and press space, then you should hear this very basic kick pattern. Okay, so now let's make a snare. So for this purpose, select the second track, drag a snare sample from the folder to this area, and you'll see the snare sample loaded up. Okay, so just as with the kick, just repeat the process of adding a new MIDI clip and going to the clip view. And now we're going to insert a C3 note in the middle of our clip, so right at 1.2. Because in trap music, it's very common to place the snare in the middle of every bar. So yeah, just place the sample in the middle of the clip and extend its right end. So by doing this, we are making sure that we are playing the whole sample and going back to the arrangement view and extending this pattern. And now you should hear a very basic kick and snare pattern. If you have this already done, then great, we can proceed to the next element. Now we're going to add some hi-hats to add some groove to our beat. So let's make a new MIDI track by right-clicking here, clicking Insert MIDI track. Let's drag a hi-hat sample from our folder in here. And after you do that, you're going to have to find Arpeggiator in MIDI effects in the browser in here on the left side of Ableton. And it should be in MIDI effects, Arpeggiator. And if you double click it, it should show up on the left side of our hi-hat sample. Okay, so when you have this done, we'll insert a new MIDI clip as usual here. We'll go into the clip view and we'll make a C3 note all over our clip. Just like this, going back and extending this this pattern until the end of the bar. Now you should hear that we're not playing just one note at the beginning, but because we dragged an arpeggiator onto the track, we are playing 8 notes. So let's give it a quick listen. So we've just had 8 notes instead of 2. Okay, so in general, trap music uses much faster hi-hats. So we will probably crank the rate knob on our arpeggiator to 1/16, and now we'll hear much faster hi-hats. Okay, but in trap music it's very common for hi-hats to change the speed. So I would like the hi-hats to play faster, for example, after the first snare. So in this area, after the first snare, I would like the hi-hats to play faster. So to change that, we need to select the area at first. And now you need to put your mouse just under this red line that appears here so that it turns blue. And now just drag it down by 3 steps. Just like this. Let's give it a listen. We can also increase the gate on the arpeggiator, so we are playing the whole sample in here. That sounds much better. All we did is we are changing the rate knob in time, so just watch the rate knob as we play this track. You notice that it goes down when the first snare hits, which is exactly what we wanted. So before we insert some cool bass notes, let's select all of these tracks like this, and let's click Command and D to duplicate them twice. And that will make our beat twice as long, of course. Let's make a new MIDI track as usual. Let's drag the 808 bass sample from our sample pack in here. Just know that 808 is a very common way of describing long bass samples in trap music, and I don't think it has anything to do with the 808 drum machine. Okay, so moving on. This time we're going to copy the MIDI clips from our kick track by clicking Shift and selecting both of these clips. We're going to press Command C and we're going to paste both of these clips onto our 808 bass track. And we still won't hear anything because we have such short bass notes here. So we need to crank the release knob on our 808 bass sample so that we will play the whole sample. So just let's give it a listen. Maybe let's just turn down the volume of the bass a little bit. -10, and here with the hi-hat we'll go -3 decibels down. Just adjusting some volumes. Sounds much better, less aggressive. Okay, so now I wanted to change the pitch of the last 4 bass notes. So to do that, I'm going to right click on this second bass clip and click consolidate, and I'll go into the clip view, and I'm gonna change the pitch of these notes by putting them down a couple of semitones. So I'll push the pitch of the first 2 notes by 4 semitones down. I'll just select both of these notes and press the down arrow on my keyboard 4 times, and it will go down by 4 semitones. And I'll do the same thing with the last 2 notes, but I'll put it 5 semitones down. Okay, so I'll get back to our arrangement. So if you now select our whole 2 bars and you press Command and L, our beat will be looped for us. Okay, let's give it a final listen, because I think we're done with it. Sounds cool, doesn't it? It's a cool way of making trap drum patterns, and I hope this video helped you understand the techniques of making trap drums. Anyways, thanks for sticking around until the end, and remember you can ask questions in the comments, and if you'd like to go further and learn more, make sure to check out my new ebook called Making a Beat from Start to Finish, where I'm explaining some more complex tracks and making them from scratch from a beginner's viewpoint. So thanks for watching, see you in the next videos, bye.